Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to dive into something that's, really personal for a lot of people on a spiritual path, the idea of spirit guides. But we're going to look at it through a lens that might just flip everything you thought you knew about them.
Okay, so let's start with the familiar, right? The way most of us first encounter this whole concept. When you hear the term spirit guide, a certain image probably pops into your head. And look, this idea is ancient. It's not some new age fad. For forever, basically, people all over the world have talked about feeling this presence, the sense that you're not just stumbling through life alone, that something is helping you out. So, the traditional way of looking at this is that these guides are actual separate beings, entities that exist outside of us. We're talking about angels, maybe ancestors looking out for us, or these highly evolved masters who are here to support our journey. And there's a huge appeal to that, isn't there? I mean, who wouldn't want to believe that? The idea that no matter how tough things get, there's this benevolent force, this support system you can call on, it just makes the whole journey feel way less lonely. It's beautiful. But what happens if we start to poke at this idea a little bit? Let's switch gears and bring in the non-dual perspective, which, well, it kind of challenges the very foundation of separation that this whole traditional view is built on. And boom, here it is. This is the question that just turns everything upside down. If the core teaching of non-duality is that a separate me is an illusion, then the idea of a separate guide has to be looked at again too. Who exactly is guiding whom? It's a total mind bender. And here's where non-duality offers this totally different, pretty profound take on it. What if that experience we call a guide isn't some helper from the outside? What if it's actually consciousness itself, the very same awareness that you are, simply showing up in a form you can recognize to give you wisdom? All right, now this is a big one. We've got to talk about a really subtle trap that this concept can create on the spiritual path, because honestly, it's something we all need to watch out for. Oh, the spiritual ego. It's so sneaky. It's that part of us that grabs onto these amazing spiritual experiences, like connecting with a guide, and instead of letting them dissolve the self, it uses them to build a bigger, better, more enlightened version of me. And you see this play out all the time, right? The ego starts weaving these stories. Suddenly, it's not about connection anymore. It's about being special. My guide is an archangel, or I'm channeling this advanced being. It becomes another way to feel superior and separate from other people. And that's the great irony of it all. By getting super attached to this idea of an external guide who makes me so special, you're actually pouring fuel on the fire of the separate self, the very illusion that real awakening helps you see through. So, okay, if it's not some separate being out there, then what in the world is actually going on when we feel guided? Well, the non-dual answer is actually really simple and incredibly beautiful. So check this out. Here's the big shift in a nutshell. We go from thinking of guides as these external helpers sending messages to us to seeing them as inner expressions of the one consciousness that is appearing as us. The message isn't coming from out there to in here. It's all just one thing talking to itself. I absolutely love this metaphor. Think about it. When you're dreaming, you can have a conversation with some wise old character who gives you the perfect piece of advice. But that character isn't separate from you, right? They're a creation of your own mind. It's the same idea here. Guides are like dream characters appearing in the big dream of reality to nudge you in the right direction. This table just nails the difference. Let's just walk through it. The old view sees guides as separate beings helping a separate me. But in the non-dual view, there is no separate me to begin with. So the whole point shifts. It's not about getting secret messages from beyond anymore. The purpose becomes seeing through the whole illusion of separation itself, and that's how it dissolves the ego's need to feel special, instead of feeding it. The guides become signposts, not destinations. Okay, so this is all great, but what do you actually do with this information? How do we take this from being just a cool idea to something we can actually live and practice? So here's a really practical way to approach it. First off, welcome the experience. If wisdom or guidance shows up, great, receive it, don't fight it. But then, and this is key, question the story your mind immediately wants to create. Notice when the ego starts whispering, "See, you're special." Then, gently, just bring your attention back to the simple fact that both the feeling of you and the appearance of the guide are happening in the same space of awareness. And finally, you can just relax. Relax into knowing that all the wisdom you'll ever need is already right here, within. And when you start to approach it this way, everything changes. The experience of guidance becomes a powerful tool for waking up. It becomes a pointer back to the truth of who you are, instead of just another trophy for the ego to put on its shelf. And really, this is what it all boils down to. The ultimate, most profound guide you could ever hope for isn't some magnificent being with a message from another realm. It's the quiet, simple, ever-present awareness that's here right now. That isness. That's the real guide, and it's never, ever left you.